Good evening, my YouTube family, my Black African family around the world. I came in late this evening and I just couldn't settle down. I couldn't get undressed yet because it seems like Spirit was just sending me downloads. And I need to share some things with you. And it deals with, I don't know what to call it. It deals with the spiritual ozone, if I can call it that. Look, something has shifted. Something important has shifted. We are no longer in the same place. I felt the shift 2 days ago. It's just different. The situation for us that was present 2 or 3 days ago, that's no longer there. We're in a new dispensation. And I'm not sure how many people are ready for that new dispensation. Something has shifted. And what I believe is that not only have the necessary critical mass of awake or awoke of awake Africans come about, people are just sort of waking up from this spell that we have been in for like 2,000 years. And people are just coming out of it. So I think the requisite number of people have awakened. And along with that, or along with them, some newborns have come into being. The universe has set things up. So everything is, I feel like everything is locked in. I sent out a notice a few days ago, maybe a week ago. Oh, more than that. In fact, I sent out a notice as a New Year's message, saying that starting this year, January, this year, this month, will go down in history as the age of the beginning of the age of the great African reunification. We are in it. And the war for sure in the spiritual world has begun. And let me tell you, it ain't gonna be pretty. Because the evil forces rely upon bombs and weapons and things of that nature. And they don't believe in spirit. They have religion. but they don't have spirit. And that's mostly because of their genetic makeup. They can't access spirit, their biological makeup, their pineal gland is mostly calcified. It's not completely calcified because blood still flows through it, but it's not active. They don't have spirit the way we do. They can't access spirit the way we do. During the 60s, when people were taking LSD to get into the outer realms of the universe, you see there are 11 parallel universes. And you can get into these outer realms if your spiritual vibrations are rapid enough. You can do a lot of things. So these other folks wanted to take LSD to get into the outer realms of the universe, but it's dangerous. It is very dangerous. Because first of all, their vibrational makeup was not rapid enough, not high enough to be out there. Also, no one invited them to go out there. They were not prepared spiritually, psychologically. So they took LSD, they got out there, and someone met them. And since they were not invited, since they had no protection, some lost their minds, many lost their minds. Some died. Some were never the same. Some came back with something spiritual that was demonic. So let me get back to the spiritual ozone. I got off a little bit. It's different. The people whom we need to fight this battle are here. They are in place. And you will find females leading, guiding us into this new spiritual dispensation. These people who have been calling themselves superior are the least superior on this planet. The least superior. In African terms, I think Elijah Muhammad was correct. A lot of people had problems with Elijah Muhammad. I never did. He was a prophet in many ways. He predicted many things that have happened. No one can deny that. I'm not Muslim. But some of his predictions were true. He had a name for them that is accurate according to African culture. Because if you look like a human being, but you have no human sensibilities, then you are not really a human being. That's what spirit gives to us. Spirit gives to us humanity by giving us these human sensibilities. African people have never had the notion that just slaughtering innocent people was something enjoyable. That's not normal. It is not. And it's not human. Our humanity has been our greatest failure. Yes. It was our greatest failure when coming into first contact with Europeans. We helped them. As a matter of fact, everyone who helped them to survive all this long time, everyone who helped them and tried to humanize them all this time were betrayed. They were slaughtered. They were murdered. They were tortured. They were enslaved. They were annihilated. Everything these people touch dies. If I'm not telling the truth, set me straight. Death is their watchword. Killing is always on their notepad planning. That's not normal. It's not normal. And since, as human beings across the globe, since we have had a problem dealing with them, stopping them, because of course, they were given time to do what they wanted to do. And that time has been so extensive that they came or have come to the point where they believe that they are God. Since they don't have spirit, they don't believe in the reality of spirit. They believe they can do anything and there will be no consequences. For them, up until recent history, there have been no consequences for them. So it has emboldened them. It has enabled them. Oh, we can run this thing. We can run the world the way we want. There is nothing to stop us. That's what they fooled themselves into believing. But now they are stopped at every turn. The first stopping point is extinction. Extinction. As of 2019, look it up. The annual birth rate for Europeans worldwide was 0.7%. That's irreversible. It means that you are dying faster than you're giving birth. So they don't have places, they don't have people to replace them. That's what it means. Now, when it comes to this thing about white supremacy, if they were so supreme, why are they becoming extinct? And there is nothing they can do to stop it. Is this why they are making artificial wombs? Artificial wombs. Who is that for? So they have imagined, like in that movie, The Matrix, they have imagined thousands of babies gestating in these plastic bubbles or plastic bags. I don't know. Wow. On top of that, these people are pitiful. They are pitiful. On top of that, they are taking human cells. I have to research it. I think I understood what they were saying. I downloaded the article. I haven't had a chance to read it, though. But you can find it. Just Google it. They are now growing in the laboratories vaginas. What is happening? Are these men not getting enough? I guess they have abused women for so long. Poor women who they don't seem to have anything. Okay. And they're always talking about these Black women, these masculine women, these this, that, and the other. We're not masculine. We are who and what God made us to be. You think some feeble little washed out thing could have given birth to all humanity? Some feeble little washed out thing could have helped develop civilization, world civilization? Come on. Just because your women seem to be useless or you've made them useless, that's your problem. African women were first. Go look it up. for hundreds of thousands of years, there were only female species throughout the earth. And it is the African woman who gave birth to the first male human. Go look it up. Not the other way around. The male was created as our helpmates in the development of civilization. Go look it up. I can't go into all that because that's not what this video is for. That's for another video. So things have shifted. And you will find that our oppressors and enslavers and torturers have their hands full. You have no idea how full their hands are. It's like a juggler trying to juggle 2 bags of beads at the same time. You're throwing them up, trying to catch them, and they're falling on the floor and rolling across the place. It's like they are trying to hold on to Jell-O. And the more they squeeze it, the more the Jell-O comes through their fingers. They can't get it together. Now, I was talking about the rate of extinction. They're just dying out. I heard a report straight from Japan yesterday. And the Prime Minister sent out a report of alarm. By 2055, Japan will be no more. It'll be dead. There are no people. They are dying faster than they are birthing. The Europeans are dying faster than they are birthing. In Africa, people are not dying like that. In fact, something new is taking place. You can look this up too. African couples now are having litters of babies. What size? Up to 9. Not twins, not triplets, not quadruplets, no. They're having 8 and 9 live births, and they're still alive. Don't ask me how. Things have shifted. We don't die. We multiply. How is that happening? The universe. I warn my people on the continent, if you are crazy enough, if you are stupid enough, or if you are that great a traitor to your own people, that you let them come into your country, as you know they have done before, like in Kenya. I've forgotten if it's 5,000 or 50,000. Let me say 5,000. I don't want to lie. I haven't talked about it for a long time. They sterilized something like 5,000 women without their knowledge or consent. The people are evil. They just are. You can't humanize them. So around 2019, the annual birth rate worldwide was 0.7%. That was before COVID. Before COVID. Millions have died since COVID. We haven't heard any census reports. Only a few thousand African people died, if it was even that many. They just didn't die. They were predicted to die, but they didn't die. They predicted that Africans would be dropping in the streets and lined up, stacked up like cordwood. It happened in America like that, not in Africa. We don't die. We multiply. I guess people forgot that we are God's original people who gave birth to all humanity, who created the first cradle of civilization throughout Africa. It wasn't just Egypt. It was Ethiopia before Egypt, and it was Sudan before Ethiopia, and it was farther south before Sudan. The cradle of civilization was all over Africa. And they traveled and conferenced together. And many times they would visit for extended periods of time, for years, just to learn from each other and to share knowledge. That's why African unity is tight. Anyone outside being African, outside the race, they look and say, oh, so many languages. They don't realize that many of those languages are connected. So many religions, no. One culture, one spirituality. And even if it is not directly taught, with the offspring are born with it. And that's what we mean when we say, I'm not an African because I was born on the continent. Africa was born in me and in millions like me. It is our birthright. You cannot take it away from us because it's almost at the genetic level. It's beyond genetics. It's spiritual. And it's decided before we're even conceived in our mothers' bellies. Getting back to population. This is why they're coming down so hard on abortion rights. But you see, those northern cultures, those non-African cultures, don't like women. Remember the cultures and the practices, sexual practices of Rome? During the 5th century, for example, it was considered unnatural for a man to be in love with a woman. She was just a thing, there to bear his children. A woman was not considered as beautiful as a man. Look at all the statuary. But I have to laugh at that statue of David, you know, with his little ding-a-ling. No, I won't say what I almost did. But I will say that African boy children are born better endowed. By the time they are 1 year old, they look more endowed than some of these other people. They just don't have it. Why are they not giving birth? Because they can't. They cannot. European women, Caucasian women are just not that strong. They don't have it. So who knows what the population is now? But Japan has already told the world that by 2055, Japanese people will be gone. Right now, they have beautiful homes, real estate, with no one to live in those homes. No one to live in those apartments. How about that? China is in trouble. Their population is declining seriously. Africans don't die. We multiply. And something that I want you to pay attention to at this time, when I say that we don't need to fire a shot, that doesn't mean that we're not doing anything. It is our time to step back into our rulership and our godhood. So I just dropped that thought. Old age. It'll come back to me. We are at a very pivotal time in human history. Human history has never seen a time such as this one. No one knows exactly what's going to happen. the universe has grown tired because a certain group of people hate life and hate nature. Anything that is alive, anything that has life, they set out to kill it. You've even got to be afraid of the food you eat nowadays. Some of you are going into those Asian markets. Be careful. I warn you, do not purchase rice. It is not rice. It is pure plastic. Check out some of these documentaries. You're too busy in TikTok and Snapchat. You don't look up. Stuff is happening. And if you're not careful, it's going to be on you. And there will be no way for you to escape disaster. If you pay attention, you will see that Europeans are caught up in a self-destructive loop. How many have died from the war now in Ukraine? Was that war necessary? Is it necessary? But they love to fight. That's what they live for. Up in those Nordic regions and everything, you know, where their belief was in Valhalla, their heaven. Let me tell you about their vision of their heaven. There are no women. Ah, my God. The only females or feminine figures that are connected with their heaven are these angel figures called Valkyries. In fact, there is an opera, famous opera, called, is it The Flight of the Valkyries, who are angel figures like immortals. Now, in Valhalla, it's like they have died on the battlefield, and the only ones that can make it to Valhalla are the ones who are the bravest fighters who died on the battlefield. So the Valkyries swoop down and carry their souls up to Valhalla. I may be saying it a little incorrectly. I don't care, because it's you know. And once there, they rest, and they like get up in the morning, drink a potent wine, eat a heavy meal, strap on armor, and go out to fight. What the hell kind of heaven is? And many of them die on the heavenly battlefield, and they come back and they rest. and wake up the next morning and drink a potent wine and eat a heavy meal and go back out to the battlefield. They love to fight. Anyone who just loves to fight cannot be civilized. Just fight, 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 fight for the love of fighting. If someone has something that you want, it isn't yours, go fight them, take it. Is this becoming familiar? Does it sound familiar? That has been their life. It still is. They organized NATO so that they could have a little peace from fighting. And guess what? It has been their preoccupation to kill us, to fight us, Africans, so that they could steal what was ours. That is what has held them together. But since it's their nature to fight, they're fighting anyway. And while they are fighting, while they're fighting each other, you saw how they tried to draw us in, running all over Africa, trying to, twist African leaders' arms into joining their strength. What do we have to do it? These are people who love to fight, but they are also cowardly because they find people who had nothing to do with them and their fight. And they grab them like they did Africans and Indians and put them on the front line. But they were always afraid of arming Africans for good reason. So they are caught up in this loop of self-destruction. They can't get out of it. Spirit has them caught up in this loop. They can't get out. They don't even want to get out. They can't help themselves. So what will the population look like among Europeans in the next year, 2 years, 5 years? I understand the World Health Organization has also put out some kind of a memo document. They also are pointing to 2055. And what they say is that by 2055, Caucasians will only constitute 7%. 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7% of the world population. Now, when that happens, and however it happens, maybe the rest of us can have some peace. They thought God didn't exist. Spirit doesn't exist. They thought we run this world show. We are the gods now. Well, that's what you thought. That's what many of you still think. That's why you believe that you can create human beings. What kind of abominations are these people ready to bring into this world? Siakwa. Abominations. Anyone with spirit wouldn't even dare dream of doing something like this. So unnatural, so against the natural order of the universe. And for those of you who are not ready for the new dispensation that you are already in, huh? No one is preparing you. It's going to be so different. Some of you might even lose your minds. Some of you might just commit suicide because you're not ready. And we've been trying our best to get you ready. I don't know if you will make it. I hope so, because I love you. So the extinction is the first weapon that Mother God and the universe, the feminine universe, that's the first weapon that is being used. War, where they fight against each other and they can't help themselves because of this consuming greed for wealth and things and power. They want to enslave the entire world. They must be smelling their own piss to think that they can do this. Can you bomb these tornadoes? Maybe you can shoot bullets at these floods. Not a shot is going to make a difference. The pandemics are coming. Some people say they started in a laboratory. I don't know. But if they did, and if there are more coming, because I'm not sure how you can predict a date that a new pandemic is going to hit the world. How do you predict that? Next year, there's going to be this, that, and a third. Really? Going to be. Did the mosquitoes inform you? The rats? How do you know that? How? But whatever you do, I can say this with conviction. the very grave you dig for African people. Get your own shrouds ready, because you're going to be the ones to fall into it. What else do I want to talk about? Starting this year, we are going to see something that we have never seen before. What will that be? We are going to see the dominant group begin to suffer the same way they have made others suffer. Starting this year, you will see it. I have been saying for something like 5 years, I have been telling people that we will soon see Caucasians running to and fro across the earth like cattle, out in the ocean on rafts. The same way that they have forced people who don't look like them to be running across this earth from pillar to post, because you have ruined their country, their economy. So in desperation, they're in rafts on the ocean. They're walking for hundreds of miles to get to another place of step where they can be safe. And when they get there, some of you turn them away, go somewhere else, after you were responsible for ruining their countries. Now it is your turn. Where are you going to run to? Where are you going to hide? Who is going to accept you and help you and give you assistance? I know the first place you're going to want to run to, and that is the continent of Africa. And if they are fools enough to accept you so that you can be there in big numbers and colonize them again, then the ancestors are going to be on their asses, the same as they are on yours. You know, all these mummies, all these mummies that you've been taking out of the tombs, you have released their spirits and they are angry. You never thought of that? Well, of course you didn't, because you don't believe in spirit. You know, all those artifacts that you have in your museums? Okay. You will soon beg Africans to take them back, because the spirits attached till those artifacts have come alive. They are stirring. They are moving. They are riding the winds, and they are riding your asses right into extinction. I really want to talk to our Black males. Not all of you, but a lot of you. As far as I'm concerned, you are suicidal. You're not only stupid. Yes, I said it. You're suicidal. Because you are doing things, running your mouths about Black women. That gave you birth. How can that be? You don't know that there are higher forces listening to your stupid behind? What level of self-hatred must you be suffering? Your pathology is so deep. The only reason that the curse that is on you will not be generational is because you abandoned those children. You've been telling women this is going to happen. Winter is coming for you. Really? I don't know about winter. But I do know that these international I said it wrong. These nations around the world have now put a target on your front and your back. Where are you going to go? It is just beginning. One is being run out of Brazil. I dearly hope he makes it out alive. But there are Brazilians here in America. Where are you going to run to? Oh, I see. You think that you're going to run to the very Black women that you have been verbally abusing, insulting, and disrespecting? You think you're going to run back to us? Some might take you. That's up to them. It's up to them to bring their own suffering. They're that stupid. But it ain't gonna happen the way you think it's gonna happen. What you've been doing makes no sense. And since you have no idea what life is and what it means and you have no idea as to why you are even on this earth, you're in trouble. And I'm not surprised. You think that these countries are going to just let you idiots come and just run through their women the way you have run through Black women until Black women finally got tired of your nonsense. Where you gonna go? Remember what happened to OJ? He never had time for Black folks, period, until he got into trouble. Then, all of a sudden, he wanted to be Black again. You don't see anyone lobbying for him? No. Whatever happens to you, you put yourself out there by yourself, and that's where you're going to stay. The ancestors are going to see to it. Divine Mother is definitely going to see to it. On that particular topic of Divine Mother, all these cultures, all these non-African cultures don't like women. That's very strange. They hate women so much that they've even concocted, well, I should say they've written, they wrote holy books saying that a man, the first Adam, gave birth to a woman. If Adam could do it then, y'all could do it now. So show me the eggs that a man carries. And what orifice would she be coming, or anything becoming? Nothing clean comes out of a man's body. Are you kidding me? That's how much you hate women. It's unnatural. So now you're concerned that women don't like you. It's a long time coming. Well, I will leave one statement with Black males. You're pitiful. You are a pitiful, sorry lot. All of you who are going around blaming Black women for this and blaming Black women for that, who else? What men from any other ethnic group in the world does that. You have disgraced your own mothers that gave you birth. You're an abomination. And you, with your dirty mouths, have brought on a world of suffering for yourselves, because now you have nowhere to go. Black women don't want you. White women don't want you. Foreign women now don't want you because you have dragged your pathological, dirty mouth butt overseas now. It isn't Black women. Clearly, it's you. Because everywhere you go, you have the same problem with women. I feel sorry for you. I live in a senior citizen building. Let me tell you what I and other women who are similarly in senior citizens buildings. Let me tell you what we see. Let me tell you what we talk about. What we see is old men our age. And in my case, I am so old. I'm almost 20 years older than some of these men. They're alcoholic. Their bodies are wasted. They are sick. Many don't have visitors. Why not? Because they wasted their lives. Whoremongering. You know, a man comes into the world with a handicap, every one of you. Some gain control of that handicap. Most of you don't. What handicap? You're born with two heads, but only one head has a brain. And although God placed the head with a brain on top, you listen to the one with no brain. And it gets you into trouble. You create mischief and mayhem because you don't know how to control yourself. Now, I'm not talking about the real men to whom this doesn't apply. It gets you into trouble. And you will end up, unless you are somehow able to straighten up your lives, you will end up the way we see all these old men in the senior citizen buildings, bodies wasted, sickly, no visitors, no one to say, please, let me bring you a glass of water. Let me heat you a can of soap. Karma is and you can't escape it. And as I said, the only reason the curse that you have brought upon yourself could be generational, except your children. You abandon them. They're not going to fall under that curse. I don't think so. No, they are one of your victims. They're your victims. You claim that you're looking for wives. Stop lying. All you're looking for is poontang. You know it. Everyone knows it. You look at the Black community, oh, it's Black women, that this, that, and the other. Well, Mr. Male Leader, where are you? You're angry because people recognize Black women as the backbone of the community. Why are you angry? You're missing. Where are you? Black women just naturally have the fortitude to step into those roles when you are missing. That's what you don't want to talk about. You're missing. Then you lie and say you're not missing. Oh, I do I do that. I take care. You ain't taking care of anything. Not even yourself. Running around like teenage boys, simps, talking fantasies to each other until you finally believe that your fantasies, these made-up lies, are true. But life has a way of bringing you to reality. I feel so sorry for that young man in China. And I understand a Chinese jail or prison is not a place where you want to be in the first place. By the time they stand him in front of that firing squad, he will be glad it's over. He never thought that this useless chasing after poontang could lead him to a foreign firing squad. These people are not going to play with your mind. They are not. And now the world is watching you. You're handcuffed. Okay. I have said what I need to say. But I think we should have a celebration. Those of us who are enlightened, those of us who are awake, we should have a celebration because something has happened. The new dispensation is here. I felt it 2 days ago, almost 3 days ago now. The age of the great African reunification is here. And we are on the move. Nothing can stop it. If you want to lose your life, try to stop it. What God has put in place, no one can stop. Beloved, I thank you for listening. When I came in late this evening, I just had to cut this video. I had to, because I was seeing things. You know what I mean by seeing things. People are in place now. The chosen ones are here. Some are already on the scene. Some are just being born. Some are in between that. The new dispensation is here. So we should be praising God. As above, so below. It has already happened in heaven, in the higher or the heavenly realms. So it has to take place right here. Well, beloved, again, I thank you for listening. I don't know if I'm going to do any more of these little sessions. I don't know. I don't know. But as the ozone, the spiritual ozone or whatever we want to call it, as it has shifted, so have I. Energies start shifting. The things that I did 3 days ago, I no longer have to do those today. So it sets you on a different path. God bless you, my beloved. Praise God. I wish you many blessings in every aspect of your lives. I pray that God will bless you and just bring all kinds of luck down upon your heads so that you can be your beautiful African selves. It's a new day, and we need to be spiritually prepared because there are going to be some things jumping off that you never imagined. I don't know what they are going to be. I don't. So, thank you. Bye-bye. What happened? Shoot. There it is. Something happened to the equipment. I was trying to stop it from recording. Okay, here it is. Bye. Silly.